Self-made independent hoe, I'm all about my businesses. I consistently continue to bring energy and know that keep it popping like I'm full of electricity. Try to hold me out, I wish you would have the audacity. Take a reflexive, now I'm shitting on the industry. Self-made not a title cause it's my identity, and wear it on my skin like it's a part of my ethnicity. Mary keep on blowing like instruments in the symphony. They keep a player buzzing like Twitter when you mention me. Being 100's a everyday living tendency, and ain't faced by hating, it makes me increase my intensity.
YouTube world, what it do? What is going on with everybody? How's everybody living on a Friday evening? Hopefully everybody made it through the work week or whatever entrepreneur week, whatever type of week that you want. I'm glad that you made it to the end of the week. And now we able to do what we love to do the most. Sit here, talk some shit about his sports teams and stuff like that. Y'all know it's the one man, 4,000 flavor of DFW Sports. Super fan from the DFW land, man. Y'all know what it is, man. I'm just kicking back, gathering some information, gathering some data that's going on. If you already know the motto, make sure you hit that like button. Go ahead and hit that notification chime for your boy one time. Follow me on X at Drewski Self-Made. Last time we was on here, we had a little internet issues, but, maybe we're doing a little bit better coming in now, so. Appreciate you, Daniel, for tuning in one time on the Sports Take, man. Got some things to get up off his chest. Of course, he going to talk some Texas Rangers post-1 game thoughts over the game one over the Washington Nationals as the Rangers got shut out for the 9th time this season. 66 games. Yes, you done got shut out 9 times. It's just pathetic what this offensive lineup is just really doing. And then, basically how they are letting waste go of these pitching outings that they're having. The Stars breaking news. The Stars fired Peter DeBoer. And last time we was on the live talking about some Dallas Stars, I was like, it could go here or there. Like, I can see why, but then I can argue against why not. That's kind of how I broke it down. But the Stars ended up making that move. They ended up moving on for Peter DeBoer after 3 straight conference finals appearances. They move on. I'll feel what I feel and say some things and see what the Dallas Morning News, Miss Leah, the Stars beat writer, she holds it down for the Dallas Morning News. See some extra detail what's going on that. And I mean, we're in the bid for the kid. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? Jason Kidd is all of a sudden something that we look like we were good to build with. Now everything is on the after what happened February. What was it? February 1st. After what happened that day, anything is on the table. Any and everything is on the table. So I wouldn't dismiss anything. So the bid for kids starts. And as well, I got a question on the Dallas Cowboys topic. Do y'all believe that Brian Schottenheimer can be the one? Do y'all believe he could be the coach? Forget the Super Bowl. Do y'all think he's the one to at least get you to the Final Four? I'm going to talk a little bit about that. As well, we got the Dallas Wings in action right now against the LA Sparks. So they're down 9 points right now in the third quarter as they just came back from halftime. So we'll go over there, get some post-game reaction from that as well. So kick your feet up, man. Tune in one time. You can go back and forth. It doesn't matter. Get you a brew. I done already had me too. Did some yard work, did all. Now it's just time to kick it. Time to kick it. And let's drop it, man. I hate to kill my buzz, but let's talk about it's baseball season. Got to talk about the Texas Rangers. It's all about DFW Sports, so let me talk about it. These dudes here, bro, I don't know what to tell y'all, bro. I don't know what to tell y'all, bro. It's squarely on the lineup, bro. This season has went to shit because your lineup ain't nothing what you thought it could, what we expected it to be. I mean, 2024, the Rangers offensive lineup, they regressed mightily after the 2023 World Series. I get it, but damn. You mean to tell me 2024, it was like y'all regressed. Now, y'all look worse than last year. Worse. Rangers lose today 2-0, get shut out as you let a great quality outing in Patrick Corbin. Now, people might get upset that he gave up a couple ones. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, bro, he still gave you something. That man went deep. And, get your minds out the gutter. Pause on that. But, I mean, damn, Patrick Corbin gave you 8 innings, bro. 8 innings. He gave you 8 innings. Yeah, he can give up 2 runs. What's the problem? It was only 2. I told you. The Rangers starting pitching rotation, they're made perfectly. They're giving you 5+ innings. 5+ innings and 2 runs at, basically on average. I told you if the Rangers can get 5 runs, if they could get 5 runs, they're going to win. The problem is they're not getting the runs and they revert back to not hitting. But Patrick Corbin, he's 3 of 5 of the season, but damn, bro, he took an L today because he went 8 innings, gave up 5 hits, 2 runs. 2 runs off of 5 hits. So he gave up all the hits today. You know what I mean? He gave up all the hits, but damn, he gave you 8 innings. You know what the Rangers followed up and did? They went at bat 30 times, got 2 hits. Off a pitcher that is good and well below average starting pitcher. They made him have a season best. Leave it to the Rangers lineup for you to get right if you're a pitcher struggling. I'm looking. Everybody's over. Your boy Corey Seager, bro. What's the stat? He's like 2-30. 2-30 in his since he done came back off the IL. Bro, hey. Now, Simeon finally cooled off. He went over, but a lot of y'all talked about Adolis Garcia. He still got a hit. He was one of the hits. Josh Smith was the other. Other than that, the Rangers got mowed down to the point it was great pitching on both sides. Both lineups really got mowed down. But it was to the point that this game finished under 2 hours. You know what? I couldn't even imagine going to a game and it's less than 2 hours, bro. To me, that's a waste of money. I could have watched that on television. Bro, the Rangers got shut out in 1 hour and 50 minutes. Now, this is a game that totaled 7 hits. Like you said, Patrick Corbin gave up 5 of them, gave up 2 runs, but the Rangers contributed just 2 hits. 1 from Adolis Garcia, 1 from Josh Smith. Now, you can say I don't want to say that the Rangers suck. I can't say that they suck because their starting pitching is showing. I kept saying if Jack Leiter can show that upward trajectory, their lineup is going to be hell to pay with, especially when they get some guys off the shelf with Cody Bradford and John Gray. You've heard me say that repeatedly. I don't see it no different. And now you mean to tell me it was really 1 through 3 was going to give you 5+ innings, 2 runs or less. Evaldi, DeGrom, Malley, for sure. But we kept saying if Jack Leiter keep going in the right direction, you add him to the mix, and if Patrick Corbin on a good day, basically him at his worst was giving up 3 or 4 runs maybe. But now he's coming into the fold, 8 innings. Only 2 runs. He's fitting the mold of what the starting rotation of the Texas Rangers is. They're going to be efficient. They're going to have They're going to basically keep you in the game. They're not going to get blown up. As you see, Patrick Corbin took long innings, and he was able to preserve the bullpen. What you get from the offensive lineup? 2 hits on a well below average starting pitcher that was coming in struggling. Sees the Texas Rangers lineup. Oh, this is a chance to get right. Rangers had their chance in the 6th inning. It was more of, was it Marcus Semien? Marcus Semien made the dude. He had a 13 pitch at bat. They made old boy really throw 30 pitches in the inning, and they could not do Nathan. Bro, I don't know what to tell you about the Rangers, bro. It's really just on the lineup, bro. It's just the point blank bottom line. As I'm in an article that Evan Grant, Texas beat writer of the Dallas Morning News, he just dropped about 30 minutes ago, and he's basically echoing what I've been saying here for a minute. This might just be who the Texas Rangers are, bro. They're going to be great starting pitching, but they can't hit worth a damn, bro. They can't play small ball. They can't play smash ball, or they can't do it consistently. What is he saying? In his article, he's talking about basically, this game took 1 hour and 50 minutes. It was the 9th time the Rangers have been shut out in 66 games this season. In 66 games, you've been shut out 9 times. So about once a week, these boys are getting shut out. God dang. Maybe they're still beaten down from a disheartening walk-off at Tampa Bay on Thursday. I would disagree with that part. You want to know why I disagree? Because the bats, you got 8 hits, but it was really Josh Smith, Marcus Semien, Adolis gave you something, and then you had Jake Burger. That was really all it was. Outside of that, it was your middle bottom order that really did the work outside of Josh Smith. Under Josh Smith, from Wyatt Langford, you know what I'm saying? Until it got to Semien, bruh, dudes was over. Like I said, to have a disheartened game that went down that way last night against the Tampa Bay Rays, it didn't affect the pitching staff. For some reason, they kept dealing. They moved on. But for some reason, this offense, I don't want to say it's a hangover of that game, because I'm like, bro, to be real with you, this is what they've been. He's basically talking about, or maybe, let's see. Or maybe this is just who they are. At this point, the jokes kind of write themselves like this. The last time the Rangers played a game shorter than Friday was the final day of the 1984 season when California's Mike Witt threw a perfect game in 1 hour and 49 minutes. Hey, at that point, the Rangers were just anxious to get things over with. Has this season reached that stage where it just started? Oh, hell no. I don't want it to be like that. Hell no. Again, the story is we just didn't swing the bats, said Rangers manager Bruce Bochy for the yet again. We're just not swinging the bats. For some reason, we're not seeing the pitches. It's just all around strong. You know how Bruce Bochy talk. But Bruce Bochy really instead wanted to talk about former Nationals pitcher Patrick Corbin returning to his old home and shoving 8 sharp innings at his old friends on just 89 pitches. So like I said, he went 8 innings deep and threw 89 pitches. Bro, he mowed them down. Yeah, he gave up 5 hits. He gave up 2 runs, but damn, he pitched his ass off. Patrick Corbin pitched his ass off. We got a couple of hits today. Bruce Bochy voice. We got a couple of hits today. Really didn't get a lot of good swings off today. I wish I could tell you why. The vibe before the game was good, really good. And then we just can't get a rally going. We're not putting pressure on the other pitcher. We're not walking a lot. We're not getting hits. That just doesn't work. Yeah. It's to the point everybody wants Bruce Bochy fired, but damn, bro. I mean, at some point of time, these players got to be held accountable against. And that's something I'm going to talk about in the Stars when I talk about the Stars turn coming around. Sooner or later, players got to take accountability, bro. Like, real talk. I don't know what's going on, especially with the lineup, because the pitching staff is doing, and that's what Bruce Bochy specializes in, is really the pitching staff. Hitting wise, I don't know, man, but it's not doing you any good right now. On Friday, he couldn't get a ton of credit to the opposing pitcher, who was once a time. He finished with 6 shutout innings. Okay, Bruce Bochy basically saying in this article, Evan Grant writing for the Dallas Morning News, we talk about it, trying to go up there and get good swings off and being aggressive. He said, we're trying to get them to take walks or anything. You get a good pitch, hit it. Simple. We're trying to keep things simple. We're mixing up the lineup. We are backing off guys. We're giving guys more days of rest. We're trying different things to see if we can get this thing going. So people saying fire Bruce Bochy, bro, he trying everything in his power, bro. He's trying everything. Wings right now down 61-53 is why I take the pause. No, still no Paige Beckers. Wings also about to get a little bit thinner in the depth too. But Bruce Bochy trying everything. The players just ain't doing nothing. And Evan Grant continues to write, mainly this means rotating off days. On Friday, Josh Young, 0 for 10 in the Tampa Bay series, didn't start, but did fly out as a pinch hitter. Bochy, who said he will give Seager Saturday off. Seager 0 for 3 with the walk and is 2 for 30 since returning from the injured list. 2 for 30. Him playing garbage, sir. But what of Seager? Here's Seager talking. I just haven't been good. You think? But there's no, I'm not just going to give it on to him. Bro, it's this whole lineup. The whole lineup stinks. The whole lineup stinks. So they all deserve blame. Seager continues to say, just missing pitches that I should hit. The bat should be in the zone more, and it kind of snowballs. You need to get some contacts or something. What's going on, my G? The Rangers have 9 shutout losses this year. Only Pittsburgh, on pace for more than 100 losses, has more. And that's the only, I told you, that's the positive thing you can take right there. It's like, as bad as this offensive lineup has been, bro, if their pitching staff was anywhere to be an average, bro, this season would already been over. It would already be over. But for the simple fact their pitching staff is by far, their starting rotation is elite. They're just not getting it done with the lineup, bro. And again, it highlighted that any deficit seems too big for this team to overcome. The Rangers have not overcome a deficit of more than 1 run to win a game this year. What about the Los Angeles Dodgers game? They were tied. Yeah, they were tied, actually. Okay. We're having a tough time. Here's Bruce Bochy talking as Evan Grant's right. We're having a tough time taking a lead when there is no score. And a big part of this game is getting early runs, Bochy said. We talked about that. Just do what we can in any way we can to get some runs on the board. And hell, I wish I had a great answer for you, except we just got some guys that are not swinging, because this might just be who the hell they are. Told folk, bro, this lineup, bro, this is probably what you're going to get from them, bro. They're not even wildly inconsistent. It ain't even a roller coaster ride. They're just bad, bro. They stink, bro. Flat out stink. What up, little CJ? What's good? I see you in the chat, buddy. What up? You slept good because the Pacers won that game one. They made me feel better too. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? It made me feel better. I'm over here watching the Dallas Wings getting their head beat in again. Good shot. At least that one falls in. Wings down 67-55. Coming to the last minute of the third quarter. Wings 1-7. Shit, the Sparks is 2-6. 2-6. But I don't know what I mean, bro. I like I said, the only thing I can be optimistic about is just saying, bro, if the Rangers don't do something, they need to sell everything, bro. It's almost about that time, bro. You're gonna need more hungry guys, bro. 2023 was a peak season for basically most of this roster. Damn show offensively. They peaked right there, and you're never going to get close to that being back. It is what it is. He said slept good and cozy. I mean, and that boy just ain't worried about nothing. Really wasn't worried about nothing. Like, I feel you. It did make me feel better when I was like, oh, fighting Rick Carlisle. Oh, okay. So Rick Carlisle won. So he really can coach. Oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? That type of thing. But here digress. But the Rangers are really killing my buzz, yo. 9 times in 66 games they have been shut out. I wish I could see a stat on how many times they have lost one-run games because of their bats as well. But that's the story of the Texas Rangers this year. I'm telling you, they're getting great pitching, great starting pitching, but their lineup, bro, has not even underachieved. They have failed tremendously at this point. Bro, he said since Seager came back from the IL, the dude is 2 for 30. When Simeon was on a stretch like that, y'all was like, he need to be moved down and he need to and he's really been on the heater ever since y'all said that shit. He's really been on the heater. Just saying. You got Pacers in 5 at worst. I mean, I don't rock with the okay, but I will say, and I'm like, bro, the main thing that's what's going to happen in this series is going to be coaching. Rick Carlisle has been there and has done it. He's been there multiple times and has done it. And I think that's going to give the Pacers the edge over this too. But to say in 5, I don't know about that, brother. I don't know. Get off my buzz, Kill. Because it's just the same shit, different stories with the Dallas Texas Rangers, my bad. As y'all know, it was a crazy day in the hockey world for the Dallas Stars. Last time I was talking to some Dallas Stars hockey, what did I say? I was like, bro, it's possible they can move on from Peter DeBoer. It's possible they could move on from Peter DeBoer. I'm like, I don't want to say I fully agree with it. I don't want to say I disagree with it, but I can't say that you know what I'm saying, I really fully agree with it, because I told you from the jump, yeah, you let him play out his last year of his contract. I understand that which was on the table. I think Going to 3 straight Western Conference Finals, you deserve to play out the last year of your contract. The problem is your expectation was going to be Stanley Cup or bust. Everybody, yes, I said everybody is, especially in everybody's goal is to win a championship. But to get to the Western Conference Finals 3 straight years and not get over the hump, and then in a series that you looked coaching-wise and player-wise and goalie-wise, y'all look severely overmatched. You should have been swept. Y'all look like y'all didn't even belong on the same ice. That's how much y'all regressed. You didn't get better. Now, talking about Peter DeBoer, he gets to the Western Conference. He gets to conference finals. He gets the championship bouts. He just haven't won the whole thing. And his teams fall flat like this more times often than not. If this was just going on with the Stars, I would say this is 1,000% on the players as well. But I think he has some blame to take a part of it. My only problem with him going into next season, it's no security for him because it's Stanley Cup or bust. That's where you don't have the security, and it's hard to win a championship when other organizations are going for it. It's just a bad situation for him to be in. And then you make it worse because in the elimination game you faced against Edmonton in Game 5 in your own building, not even 10 minutes into the game, like you really panicked. Now, some people will say he did the right thing. Jake Oettinger was playing like shit and all that. That might be the case, but again, what I say with the Texas Rangers, as bad as Seager has been doing, as bad as y'all want to say Garcia and Marcus Semien was doing, bro, the whole lineup really stank. The Stars really, when they get into the Western Conference Finals, they have done this 3 straight times. From Jake Oettinger to everybody on the ice, bro. Mostly at every position. What's up, so, like I'm saying, bro, every time they're getting to the Western Conference Finals on the Peter DeBoer, for some reason, they're just not making it through. Now, a lot of people, I heard Gavin Dawson, who talks on 105.3 The Fan, and he is it How About Wow? I need to go back and check his. But he came off very old school and matter of fact, which I hear him about, and I've been hearing the argument like, why are players so soft these days? Players couldn't take a benching because they were playing poor. I do get that. But where I disagreed with it was like, bro, you tried to make it seem like it was Jake Oettinger because you're basically saying in 2 series against Edmonton, he was a no-go. Now, the numbers would say otherwise because in 4 straight games, they gave up 16 goals. So the numbers can say that, but it's not fair because how many times y'all committed dumbass penalties and couldn't get the power kill going? How many times you really lacked defense awareness against Edmonton and left skaters coming free against Jake Oettinger, basically being under siege? How piss poor were y'all how piss poor were you playing in 5-on-5 matchups against Edmonton? That is a whole total team thing. And I just think with you throwing Jake Oettinger under the bus and kind of doubling down on it, I think that really left a sour taste with the players. And these players are actually going to be Jake Oettinger. I told you his contract lasts longer than Peter DeBoer. So you got to make that choice. If you're Peter DeBoer, knowing that the expectation is finals or bust, and basically now nobody is really going to really hear you out in the locker room like that, you got to kind of watch yourself or go over. He might have mutually said, you know what? I ain't going to be able to be soft because it's a lot riding on me. I got to part ways. Like I said, I understand holding players accountable. I really do. But he made it seem like it was just Jake Ottinger. Now, people, I will agree on the side of saying, bro, you're acting soft. And this is where I do agree, because I've said for the plenty of times for the Dallas Stars, they're not physical or tough enough to get through the Western Conference. And y'all playing bad, and your coach rips y'all, throws y'all under the bus, hurts y'all feelings, really validates what we're saying. Y'all are not tough enough. That's more of the damning part about all of this that's going on. My opinion of what's going on with the Dallas Stars. Like, damn, bro, I have been saying y'all are not physical or tough enough. And y'all get y'all feathers ruffled like that to the point y'all don't want Pete DeBoer back because y'all in y'all feelings. That shows y'all are not tough enough. So that's where I can agree with it. The only thing that I can strongly say, it's just more, bro, you might just have to move on, bro, because this locker room is not going to be right up under him. And another reason that's not going to be right up under him, because it's like I brought the analogy with Mike McCarthy, 12-5, 3 straight seasons, but could never really do nothing when it mattered the most. Okay, maybe you done seen him peak. That's probably the best he can do. And that's probably what's really has happened with Pete DeBoer. So why waste the season of trying to figure it out with the stakes and expectations being even more higher? You go on a 5-game losing streak, you liable to lose your job. That's basically how tight it would have been. So, like I said, I ain't condemning it. I ain't condoning it, them letting him go with a year left, but I ain't condemning him for it. What's going on? I'm getting messages right now. Texas Stars has forced a game 6 as Curtis McKenzie wins it in overtime for the Texas Stars in the AHL, going for the Calder Cup. And big news about that, because the head coach for the Texas Stars, oh, hell no. What? Okay, so the main one they're talking about is Neil Graham, who is the AHL Texas Hockey's Dallas Stars affiliates head coach. And right now they're in the Calder Cup. They just forced game 6 in an overtime against, what's their name? Abarak. Can't say that Canada name right, but the Texas Stars, they've been having a lot of young players that the Dallas Stars have really reached into that pool and really used. And the way the Texas Stars are going now they were good last year. I believe they won it all. So he's looked at, you want to keep it in-house. He knows the young players. They basically feel he's going to connect with the younger players, and he has better message. Kind of reminds me of what's going on with Brian Schottenheimer. He's a better message to give to. But that was one name that I saw that I'm like, you know what? Why not keep it in-house? But if you make a move like that, I don't think that moves the needle to say that you're still trying to be one of the best teams in the NHL, if not the Western Conference. I don't think it says that. Now, Leah did have a list of names to basically go about, 10 names that she had. She has Peter Lavelliot, John Tortella, Gerard Gallant, Jay Woodcoff, who doesn't have much head coaching experience, but some believe that he deserves another chance. He also has experience with working with superstars like Connor McDavid and Lynn Drasati. and could be a strong fit with the Miko Renton in there. So that's why I wanted to read a little bit of that. They got Steve Ott, Alan Sarandine probably. And then they got a couple out the college range, Dave Carl. They got some more out of the AHL with Carl Taylor, Todd Nilsson, and then, like I said, Neil Graham is probably the one who's probably in the lead and the favorite. He keeps continuing to do what he's doing with the Texas Stars right now as they're trying to, I believe, go back-to-back for the Calder Cup in the AHL. So major things going on, man. Now, like I said, Dallas sports have been making a name for themselves to keep themselves in the headlines. But from my last live when I was on here talking about the Stars, talking about should Pete DeBoer be let go of or retained, you could kind of hear it in my argument. I was like, bro, it can go 50-50. I think that was my argument. It could go 50-50. He could still stay here or he could be fired. And I think the players really said a lot about it in their exit interviews with Jim Neal and everything. I think they let it be known that they most likely do not trust Pete DeBoer going forward. I think that's what it is. Players got to take accountability, but they also look like they were being outcoached too. Everything from them looked totally like they were in a total mismatch. They did not belong on the ice against Edmonton. You take out that third period of game one in that Western Conference Finals against Edmonton where they scored, five, 6 goals, whatever. They got their noses white, bro. Straight up. That's what happened to them. That is what happened to them. So I'll be keeping up tabs on, the coaching search that's going on for the Dallas Stars, as well as, their looks of who are they going to possibly let go, to some moves that they could make to free up some cap roster space, because they're cap struck. Like, they're cap strapped. They only got $5 million against the cap that they can work with. So it's a whole bunch. And that was a reason where I was like, maybe you want to keep Pete DeBoer because you got a lot of decisions still to try to make. But again, you get there 3 straight years, bro, and you flame out, and you done got worse basically every time in the Western Conference Finals you show up. Maybe we've seen the best of what we could see from you. Maybe that's just what that is. Hate to say it. Wings are getting stomped right now, man. Good Lord. 85-63. Under 4.5 minutes left. It's another one of those season type for them. For the Wings. Whole new coaching staff. You got new players coming in, new GM, everything, bro. And it's just, they're in dire straits right now, bro. Real talk. Now, I heard some rumblings going on for the Mavericks. I heard that former Mavericks guard Dennis Smith Jr. is working out with a team next week. What? DSJ? A reunion? A former first-round draft pick could be making his way back. What? Okay, they talk about that. What do y'all think about that? I really haven't heard too much from DSJ since he done left the Mavs. So I'm kind of trying to figure out, can he still be a guy that can contribute at the NBA level at a good do you let him you let him work out, but do you let him G League it if not? Because it's no given secret the Mavericks have got to figure out something while Kyrie. I don't even want to say why Kyrie is out. They got to figure out something at the point guard period, because I'm not doubting Kyrie. It ain't even about the age or anything like that, but it's just that is a huge expectation to expect the guy to kind of carry on after a knee injury like that. You know what I'm saying? Let's kind of be responsible here. Let's be responsible. So you're kind of not just looking for, to me, do y'all think Dennis Smith Jr. is better than Jaden Hardy right now? Because you're still going to, are you looking for a scoring point guard or a guard that can distribute, or if not both? A lot of people keep talking about Chris Paul. I don't want to fuck with Chris Paul. I don't care. I'm not fucking with Chris Paul. I'm not. I pass. I'll Hail Mary pass on Chris Paul. Come with me, Hail Mary. Yeah, Hail Mary pass. For real. I'm Hail Mary passing on that. But like I said, is Dennis Smith Jr. better than Jaden Hardy right now? You right, man. Hey, ACL is no joke. It's no joke. Anytime you got to get the surgery and all that, it's no joke. Porter Wings getting beat down. I don't even think Page, you get better offense. They're struggling to set up offense. Enrique's having a hard time getting any offense in motion going, just for the simple fact, they doubling the shit out of her. Playing high off the pick and rolls, they doubling the shit out of her. But little CJ, you right, man. The bid for Jason Kidd. It's been reported that the New York Knicks are making a hard push for Jason Kidd. They are expected to formally request permission to speak to Mavericks head coach Jason Kidd about their vacancy in coming days, the NBA insider Mark Stein reported today. The Knicks delivered a shock when they dismissed Tom Thibodeau after leading them to the Eastern Conference Finals first time since 2000. Kidd and the Rockets head coach Ime Udoka have both garnered interest from the Knicks, despite working for other teams. Stein previously reported interview requests to the Rockets would categorically be rejected, and that a similar response would be expected from the Mavericks. Kidd also has 2 years remaining on his contract after signing an extension after last year's Western Conference Finals run. Kidd is one of the favorites for the Knicks coaching job. He was one of the favorites for the Knicks coaching job in 2020. Interviewed before the job went to Tom Thibodeau, and then, he moved around after that, and now he's up in here. So, I don't see Jason Kidd. I don't see him making that leap. Why would he? Why would he? Unless he's not fucking with the Mavericks and Nico and them off there. And see, this is something where if Jason Kidd doesn't take the job, you were in with Nico, you wanted Luka to leave, and if he leaves, then okay, Jason Kidd, we give you your props. You wasn't in on no, man. That's some toxic ass shit. Hell no. Nah. Little CJ said, I think CP a little overrated to me just because people say that he can carry a team, or he used to. Man, that's a dirty son bitch. That dude spent all his time in the NBA, in his basketball career, hitting folks in their nuts with his dirty ass. I'm telling you, I'll pass on him like a Hail Mary on first down. That's how much I'll pass on. For real. Just talking about him as a basketball player. That's it. Dirty ass basketball player. But I feel you on that. But like I said, to bring DSJ back, are you not confident in what you got in Brandon Williams, or are you trying to basically get something cheaper than what you would get for Spencer Dinwiddie? Maybe. What do you want to do? Now, Nico, you got to make this shit stick. Because as you see now, Kidd got options. And it ain't nothing like when you got options. And I mean favorable options. Because we all got options. They might be options you ain't gonna like, but we all got options. And at the same token, Jason Kidd, the door has opened up that he got options. So now you're going to have to really work with Jason Kidd right here, Nico, which I think both of y'all have been working in. Let's see what they can do. Do they? Moving some players is always in question. I think some shit can still shake up before the trade. I mean, before the NBA draft comes along, bro. I think some shit can still shake up, bro. Real talk. Wings getting beat down by 20s, 18 now, 89-71. Under 2 minutes left in this game. Wings about to fall to 1-8 of the season. But yeah, Jason Kidd got options. So it's what do they do for him? What do they do for him to make this work? And I think Jason Kidd staying with the Mavericks or leaving the Mavericks, I think him leaving the Mavericks would say more about him not, fucking with Nico and how, they went about making that trade. I think that's that you could say that. But him staying, I don't think that would be a case to say he had something to do with getting Luka out of here. Come on. That shit was such a shock. I don't even think Nico could believe he even did it. Boy was all up there nervous talking. We got to make it. He couldn't even believe he did it. Bruh, that day it reminded me. It sucks because this is the year I was born, but at the same time, it just reminded me when SMU got the death penalty and they announced it and the old boy passed out. Got all those type of vibes to it. I think Jason Kidd stays, works it out for the rest of his contract. I think at the end of his contract, Nico's contract will be ended. And if they don't have a championship, that'll be the end of that. So give them their 2 years. Let's see what they can do. So in this 2 years, I think Nico is not done. Y'all might not want to hear that because y'all not fucking with him. But like I said, until he got here, the Mavericks were not getting out of the first round of the playoffs. As soon as he got here, they're getting to the Western Conference Finals. They're getting to the finals. But with basically a little bit of 2 years left, you made your window short. You better hit. You better hit. And I think Jason Kidd sees what's going on, and I think he's going to stay put, and I think he's going to ride it out. That's my take with it. Your Dallas Cowboys. It's Brian Schottenheimer the guy to get it over the hump. You hear all the, and I told y'all about this when Brian Schottenheimer was the guy, and I was like, he just doesn't have the head coaching experience, but he's been around football all his life. Growing up under his pops, Marty Schottenheimer, rest soul, playing at Florida under Steve Spurrier, backing up Danny Warfel, seeing a national championship, being a part of a great college program, and spend some time in the NFL and did your thing, and then you didn't spend time as just coaching in general. Pete Carroll taking him under his wing. Pete Carroll is a guy who's enthusiastic and really gets along with his players. Then you was an offensive coordinator for Rex Ryan for the Jets. Rex Ryan brash, talks that shit, but walks with it. You know what I'm saying? I think that's going to be the under key lie factor to give that it factor for Brian Schottenheimer. I think he's going to have that type of edge to him, but he's going to be real good with the players where he can have that type of relationship, that type of communication with. I think maybe the communication between Mike McCarthy and these players it just didn't translate. It didn't resonate. Honestly, I think as a head coach, Mike McCarthy is a boring guy. That's how I looked at it. Now you get a little youth in here. I still think this team, at best, they can win 9 games. At best, if things went their way right and they stayed healthy. At best, they could win 9 games. I got them at about 8 or 7 wins. It's going to be one of them type of seasons. One of them type of seasons. Can Brian Schottenheimer be that guy, though? Calvin Watkins did write an article earlier this morning as he talked about the 29-year seasons of a Super Bowl drought and counting. If you look at the articles, in the NFC East is by far landslide, or the NFC is by far landslide of the last time, the amount of years that it's been since the Cowboys even reached the fucking Final Four. But as our man Calvin Watkins writes, Dallas Cowboys beat writer for the Dallas Morning News, he's embraced the drought. He's embraced what the fan base wants. He embraced the team owner Jerry Jones seeks, a Super Bowl title. In Brian Schottenheimer's words, I don't get caught up in the drought. He said, this is 1 year. This is the first year of mine. I mean, I've been here a couple of years, but when the season is over, we move on. We do. We move on. So 2024 is over. Now it's 2025. Are we going to win the Super Bowl this year? I hope. I think we are. If we don't, you move on. Okay, he's breaking down basically about how long it's been since we even seen the NFC Championship. But Schottenheimer plans to end the drought begins with chemistry. He's forming bonds with players, as I told you. He's adding a lot of, games of competing games. He just wants the players to compete and, get close to each other where they're always around each other, and competing is always a good way. The other part is making sure the talent assembled fits the schemes being applied. Schottenheimer noted that second-year tackle Tyler Guyton is getting comfortable in the new scheme, allowing him to perform better. The Cowboys added faster players in free agencies in Miles Sanders, Jadon Blue, and trades with Jordan Pickens to boost the offense. Dak Prescott believing in Schottenheimer doing things the right way from the top to the bottom. Take the offense and defense away from it, take the positions away from it, take the coach and player aspect away from it, and let's connect. And you're talking about one of the most optimistic people you'll find. I've seen it the way that is going. I see the way people are buying in, and it's hard for me to think anything different. So there's a lot of buy-in going in right now. Schottenheimer bringing in all the former greats, all the former Cowboys, and Schottenheimer basically, as Calvin Watkins writes, Schottenheimer wanted his group to see their Super Bowl rings, hear their stories, and understand their ultimate goal is about winning the championship and what it takes to get there. Schottenheimer's not backing down. Schottenheimer's getting the buy-in from the front, from the locker room and the front office. Stephen Jones basically saying he loves his attitude, what you do every year. The only one that's trying to repeat is the one who won it all. Congrats to Stankodelia. And let me take that back. Congrats to the Steagles. They got it done last year. There are 31 other teams that's trying to get where they want to be. So the success has been lacking in that department when it comes to deep run playoffs. But the Cowboys believe the man in charge quenches everyone's thirst. You have to win games. He said you're supposed to win. You have to get into the playoffs and all those things. But I think meaningless to set a arbitrary goal is to say 10 wins is we want to do this. No, we want to win a Super Bowl, and we don't hide from it. So, yeah, he's talking a good talk. He's basically saying, yeah, the goal is to get this organization a 6 Lombardi, which they have been trying to do for the last 30 years. I think he actually has a good coaching staff about it. To be honest with you, I think this staff can help him out. Some guys been head coaches. It might have failed or whatnot. They've been in the NFL for a good long time. And a lot of this, it does depend on your staff. And they are going to have to be the ones that carry him, because I think he's going to relate to the players real well. I think he will relate to them real good. Not being too much older than them, but I think he's saying all the right things. He's hitting all the right buttons. If Michael Parsons is showing up, he might not be participating, but if he's showing up, that's a big indication of what he believes in Brian Schottenheimer and his coaching staff. Now, if he stays away and hold out and all that type of stuff, that'll say something else. He's just more at war with the Joneses. But if he show up, that means and I don't want to say, like I said, if he's just in attendance, to me, that'll let me know he's buying into what this coaching staff is bringing, especially Brian Schottenheimer. So can he be the one? Hey, damn sure won't happen in year one. But as he's trying to let his process unfold, can he be the one? Can he be the one to get it over the hump? I don't know. That's something to see. That's something to see. Bro, they got their asses whipped. So did the Rangers. Ooh, Lord. Hard times for our Dallas Wings, man. In another damn game that they score under 80 points. It's getting brutal for the Dallas Wings coming up, man. As, like I said, they took an L tonight against the LA Sparks. They just got drugged, bro. And I mean, when the defense is locked on Arike Ogunbowale, bro, the Wings have no chance. They only put up 17 points in the first quarter. Then they came out in the second half in the third quarter and only put up 15 points. That is about far where they really kind of lost the game right there. Other than that, they tried to play competitive. It was just too much. They tried to start playing big with Tierra McCowan, starting to feed her inside, and then they quickly went away from it. Like I said, Arike Ogunbowale, bro, she only gave you 8 points. She was 4 of 10 from the field. She really couldn't get clean looks. She just looked flustered all evening. Dejana, I'll be having trouble with her first name. I call it Dejana. She has really been a catalyst for you. She really has. Tierra McCowan, you know, she's about to get ready to play EuroLeague basketball coming up soon. So you're about to lose some depth right there. It's about to be some new faces that roll in here. The Wings are really operating on our wing and a prayer. Literally, they're wings and a prayer. Right now, there's nothing too much I can say about the Dallas Wings except they're just in a team that's in a total transition. It's clearly they're in, from the top to the bottom. They're clearly in transition. I hope Arike can keep her head on right because I know it's frustrating. But although she's not scoring as much defensively, she's still playing hard. She's still doing other things to involve herself in the game. So I give her credit for that, to keep playing hard. But it's just rough right now for the Wings, bro. It's really rough for them. It's rough, and I hope they can, you know, even Paige, I believe even if she get healthy, it's going to help. But they got a long way to go. They look like a team that's in total transition right now. Their next game will be Sunday against the Minnesota Lynx down here at College Park in Arlington. At UTA, basically. So let's see what those tickets go for, especially if Paige can be healthy. Tomorrow, what's on the slate tomorrow for DFW Sports? Basically, is going to be game 2 of the Nats and the Rangers. It'll be Jacob deGrom Day on the mound, which, okay, what his stat line going to be? What, 5 2/3 or 6 2/3 innings? You know, 7 Ks. Maybe give up 4 hits, 1 run. Rangers still going to lose probably like 3-1. That's just heartbreaking. And y'all getting handled by the Nats, the Nationals. What? Disgusting. Like I said, just like that, the Rangers, they're in 4th, and things are spiraling out of control. Bochy, I won't be surprised if he steps down. That's my bold prediction. I won't be surprised if he go ahead and lay it down. And I don't mean being a crook for life, as Mr. Pookie would say, but I think he's probably going to lay it down. He's probably going to lay it down. it is what it is. So like I said, I got J Kidd still staying around. Let him finish. He's going to finish out his contract, and it's just going to tie in with Nico unless he want to leave Nico out to dry, which would be funny for a lot of y'all. But I think he actually understands the type of roster that he got. If they can just stay healthy, I think he sees what can happen with this roster. I don't think it's something to be willing to start over right now for. And if he's really true to want to start this two tandem big team thing, you're really not going to be too much having that in New York like you would have it in Dallas right now. That's just my opinion. Of course, I'll be biased, but that's my opinion for it. Like I said, Texas Rangers, bro, it's just up to the offensive lineup, bro. They, sooner or later, they got to come to the party consistently. I'm not asking for double-digit runs. I'm just squarely saying, bro, y'all get 5 runs. You get 5 runs, you're winning. You get 5 runs, you're winning. Not even 4. You get 5 runs. Okay, you get 4 runs, you're winning. You get 5 runs, you're guaranteed to win. Guaranteed. Don't let another pitch in the opportunity, quality out from a starting pitcher go for naught. Please don't. Because if you do, then it's time to sell all this shit, which it might still already be that time. So Rangers in action tomorrow against the Nats. That'll be the only thing for the DFW that's going on right there. I'll have post game after that. See what is going down around that and see what other news we can bring around here. So we'll see what it brings, you know. If not, follow me on X at Drewski Selfmade. You already know what it is. So let's go ahead and end the night, man. Let me finish the rest of this beer and let me go ahead and get faded, man. It's been a rough week, but especially in DFW sports, it's been a hella week that's been going on here. But you know, I try my best to make sure we break it down any way that we can get it. Try to drop me some more shorts about more topics that's going on. So just in case people are not catching the lives, if you know the attention span don't want to let you see it all the way through, we'll drop some more shorts. We'll start getting a little bit more creative. But you know how it is, man. I'm kicking flavor for DFW sports at all chances I get. I ain't no expert or nothing like that. I'm just calling it like a fan, that just a super fan. And y'all always see me in the trenches. You always see me on the television talking about them as well. So yeah, man, that's going to be it for today's show. Like I said, Peter DeBoer getting fired. Surprised they pulled the trigger, but not shocked. Rangers letting another quality pitch, starting pitching outing go to waste. Not shocked or surprised as they lose 2-0 and get shut out for the 9th time. The Wings continue to struggle as they lose by double-digit points. Not surprised, not shocked. And all game action that didn't happen in the DFW. So that's my time for the night, man. Y'all already know when you catch this on the playback, hit the like button, drop a comment. Let's keep it rolling, man. I'm gonna try to get this platform going a little bit higher, man. Football season is coming around the corner. Try to make sure I hit on football season the right way. But you know, when it comes to talking sports, we can do whatever. But any team out the DFW, holla at your boy. Your super fan got you on lock. Follow me on X, man. I keep the party going. So until then, y'all know the slogan, do everything with love because love always wins. That's the law. With that, I'm out, y'all. Peace. Let's go enjoy the
Self-made, independent, ho, I'm all about my businesses. I consistently continue to bring energy and know that keep it popping like I'm full of electricity. Try to hold me out, I wish you would have the audacity. Take a rap laxative, now I'm shitting on the industry. Self-made, not a title, cause it's my identity. And wear it on my skin like it's a part of my ethnicity. Mary keep on blowing like instruments in the symphony. That keep a player buzzing like Twitter when you mention me. Being 100's a everyday living tendency. And ain't faced by hating, it makes me increase my intensity.